I love you so much.
Hello everybody and welcome back to our channel. So I'm just gonna cut right to the chase. You saw the title. If you want to see the story of how Ben and I got engaged, then please, just this time.
Let's get to the video. Keep on watching.
All right, so I'm just gonna start here. On December 23rd,
2020.
I almost said 2023 because that's when we're getting married. Surprise! On
You'll get it right.
On December 23rd, 2020, Ben asked me if I would marry him, and I said yes, and that's the whole story.
Wow, really cool.
So I'm gonna toss a lot of this video over to Ben because obviously a lot of the planning and the execution and everything. I want to say this from the start. Because if you know me in real life, you know I'm very, very hard to surprise because I'm very nosy and I'm very just difficult in a lot of different ways. Not to be self-deprecating, but throwing it over to you because you know more than I did.
As most stories should start, we'll start at the beginning. Way back in November, I knew that I wanted to ask Peyton to marry me. And so that was when I sort of began the ring search and figuring out what the whole process was going to be.
And something that I would highly recommend is, as a date, we did go ring shopping together. I know a lot of people will probably be against that because they're like, oh, it's less of a surprise, whatever. It's not. You can still completely take the person by surprise and you have an idea of what they like because it should be like a team decision. And I think you should have an idea that you're about to get proposed to within the time span it's going to happen. It makes for a happier relationship, in my opinion. Anyways, yeah. I'm off my soapbox.
Thank you. We already lived together for 4 months at this point, so I think she knew it was coming, especially with the ring shopping.
And moved across the country together.
And moved across the country. Just, little things. Doing that, as she said, very good. And it also took the stress off of me. Shout out to Diamond Direct in St. Pete with our boy DJ.
Seriously, if you live in the Florida area, go to DJ at Diamond Direct. We're not sponsored.
He was so good to me.
We love him.
I went there and based on what Peyton had told me and what we had seen when we went ring shopping, I picked out a ring. And back in November, DJ said, it may be done before Christmas, but it's probably going to be into the new year. And so I had filed that away and said, okay, I'll start working on my plan to propose. It's going to be on our 3-year anniversary, which is coming up now in March 2021.
The second.
At the time, I was like, okay, I got a couple months, so still some time to figure that out. 2 weeks before we left to go back to Peyton's family's house for Christmas, DJ called me and said, hey, it's done. And so that completely changed my world. So in 2 weeks, I started to change around my ideas of how I was going to do it because I definitely wanted to do it up in New Hampshire with all of her family around.
Sorry, for more context, a lot of people don't like the idea of family or friends being around or anything like that. He knew from me that I was very family oriented. I just don't want anyone who happens to watch us to be like, oh, I should have her family there. I wanted that. Talk to your partner about if they want that.
We flew in on a Saturday, the 19th, and on that Sunday, her sisters and her mom went to go get their nails done, which was a great move by the sisters to get her nails done before the pictures with the ring, blah, blah, blah. And while they were out doing that, I asked her dad for his permission. And then once the whole family came back, I asked the rest of them for their permission.
Except for my sisters, who apparently knew for months.
They already knew.
The way Ben said it is he needed intel on the inside. So
I needed inside people to help me out.
I guess after he told my mom, one of my sisters saw them emotional, and they ran up and they were cheering, and my mom was like,
they knew? What the hell? They knew before me?
Over the course of that week, was a bit of a whirlwind of going through different plans that were working and failing. I wanted to do the ice castles, but they weren't open yet. I wanted to rent a ferry boat because we have a lot of great memories on ferries, but cold, and they also don't run in the winter because cold. There was a backup for around a river, or I guess a little creek
we
near
called
the
it
house.
Breakdown points when we lived at my house for a while. Every time I think everyone has this when they graduate college and they can't find a job, but especially during a pandemic and we were trying to move out of my parents' house, every time we would get that like down on ourselves of like, I'm stupid, I can't do anything, we would go sit at this little like bench near like, it's not even a river, it's like a creek. But,
jadedly skip rocks.
oh my God, just cry. But it is a good spot now that life has moved forward.
Exactly. But what I ended up going with was a recommendation from really her whole family, which was Stratham Hill Park, which for that New Hampshire crowd is a bit of a smaller nature park, I would say. But the cool part about it is it has a abandoned fire watch tower. So there's a great view of basically, Stratham, Exeter, everything around.
You can see the White Mountains if it's a clear day. You can see the ocean from up there. Like, it's not tall, but it has very good visibility, so you can see like a lot.
On about Monday, we actually ended up deciding on that place. The 23rd is a Wednesday, so Sunday asked, Monday decided the place, and then Tuesday, her dad and I went and started getting the things to make it special. So going to Michael's to get flowers and
whimsical decor
to decorate this Firewatch tower. Skipping ahead a little bit, we did that. We avoided Peyton finding out.
Well, I feel like this is the point of the story where we need to say when you were at the what application began to cause some issues.
For those of you who know what Life 360 is, it is a phone app that lets a family know where each other are. But it essentially is just a phone tracker. I'm on that with Peyton, and so is all of her family. Just as it's a nice thing to have whenever you're all in the same house.
We have some family friends who live near Stratham Hill Park, so that's where my dad and Ben were hanging out. Or that's where they left their phones when they were going to check out Stratham Hill Park, knowing I would probably check Life 360. So when I saw it, I got a little bit nervous because you wonder, like, I know he and my dad get along, but you see, oh, he's been with these family friends and my dad for like hours. He told me
what's going on? It's a Tuesday morning. It's kind of weird.
He told me some great excuse of like, oh, they have a ice hockey rink and they were filling it up with water so it would freeze when it got like really cold.
They needed some help and we had some beers, which is what took the couple of hours.
Yes. So I wholeheartedly believed it, didn't question it.
There was a couple obstacles to overcome, Peyton being able to see where I was at all times.
And my family.
And seeing where all the rest of her family was at all times. Fast forward, I got all the decor, and it is now Wednesday the 23rd. I'm going to ask her at noon. Wanted the sun to be up, wanted it to be nice and bright, and so now it's time to set up. So
I am going to insert a clip here too, because I have like some vlog footage I took while I was home of the morning of, and like saying good morning to everyone, not knowing what was happening. In the next little while. So all of the footage from day up I'll put here. Hello everybody. So I missed a day. It is now Wednesday. It is the day before Christmas Eve and we are all just hanging out at the table. This is the last day that Sid and Sam have school. Mom and Dad are both working. I have a little bit of work to do. Ben's currently helping Sammy with her extra credit assignment. Thank you, Ben. I love you. Mm-hmm. And we are just hanging out before we go for a little hikey boy later today. It's not really a hike, it's kind of like a nature walk, and we're gonna take my pup and we're gonna go get some fresh air. So that'll be super fun. I will take the camera along and show the New England scenery, and I'll put a montage of that right here. You're welcome.
That morning started, we're setting up. To get around Life 360, I had to have her mom go to her work and leave her phone there.
She had the day off and I didn't
She had the day off because she's awesome and she took it. And then one of her little sisters, Squidiot, she also went with her mom. And those were the squad to set up.
You let her take your work phone and leave her phone at home, so I didn't know what was going on.
All the while, we were just doing errands around the house to kill time until noon.
And then we left for the hike. Admittedly, at this point, I was a little bit grumpy because I wanted to go on like a big hike, like bring the dogs and do like a tiring
couple miles
hike.
At least. And
Stratham Hill Park is by no means a big hike when the White Mountains are in driving distance. So driving over, I was I wasn't bad. I was just a little bit grumpy because I wanted to do something harder.
All the people involved in driving over, it was her other sister Sammy, her dad, grandmother, and I. So we were all in one car going over to do this little drive. All the while, her other sister and mom were at Stratham Hill Park, along with a photographer, works with her mother.
I'm actually going to link all of her stuff down below, like her Instagram and her photography stuff, because she did my senior photos
awesome.
and this. She's been there for 2 of the biggest moments of my life. I adore her.
We get out of the car and we start walking up, and as we're walking up, you notice the...
So I did see her, but I saw her with a mask on. Like, she had a mask on and her camera, and months earlier I had asked my mom, this is kind of just context, I had asked her if Ben and I could do like a cute photography shoot because I really liked the work she did and I wanted to use her while I was home. My mom basically just told me she was spending the holidays out of state. So I saw her and it was in my head like, okay, months ago, my mom told me she's out of state, so that can't be her. This doesn't make any sense. But I looked at Ben and audibly said, wow, she looks really familiar, and just kind of kept walking. So that was like the second time at this point I should have realized something was up, but my head was, you know, somewhere else, I guess. So we start hiking up. And the only other time where I should have noticed something was going on was I went to hold Ben's hand like in his jacket pocket, which is something we normally do because our hands get cold. And he smacked my little hand. Once again, there was just kind of a convenient reason of he had gotten a really bad cut on like his index finger earlier that week. And I kept accidentally holding that hand throughout the week and like, you know, giving it a little one of these and then it would hurt. So then we held the other hand and I figured everything was fine. My dad took like a picture of us on the way up. I'll insert it here if I can find that specific picture.
Anyways, we're walking up and, you know, we're getting to the fire tower and I had never been here before. So I'm saying, oh, you know, I really want to go to the top.
I was saying, no, I don't want to. I'm cold.
It's icy, it's cold, it's a little cold, it's very windy. So that was really more the issue is you don't want to go higher up and get more of that wind.
Yes, I believe the exchange was Ben said, hey, let's climb to the top. And I said, no, I'm cold. Go with Sammy. And he said, Peyton, like just exhausted. He's like, will you please climb to the top with me? And he held my hands and I'm a sucker.
I was like, okay.
Gotcha.
And I climb up the tower first. So really, truly at this point, I was just a little bitter and cold to be climbing the tower. So I climbed to the top with Ben right behind me, and we get to the top, and I'll insert a photo here of what the setup looked like at the top of the tower. And I don't know if you've ever been like a little bit grumpy and then seen like something great, but like my mind was not instantly for like, oh, this is for me. I looked at it and I turned around to tell Ben, I'm like, hey, what happened up here? And then
Who put these flowers up?
And then I saw his face, and I saw like kind of the change in him, I guess. I don't really know how to word it because it's not like his face probably changed, but it was like this softness and like vulnerability. Sounds stupid, but that's what I saw, and instantly blacked out and proceeded to not hear a word he said.
I gave my whole speech, went down on a knee.
And the speech was beautiful. He read it to me later. It had these references in it to things that are really important to us. But yeah, so I blacked out entirely, and then he said, you know, Peyton, will you marry me? And I proceeded to not answer. And then I got a little like, hey.
Yeah, come on.
What? He was like, will you marry me? And I said, of course. Of course. Of course.
All the while this is going on, the photographer is in the woods on her stomach.
Behind bushes.
Behind bushes to hide. Your sister had gone, I don't know where they even went. I think they were just
behind a shed, I think.
Behind a shed hiding because, you know, they were not supposed to be there.
They'd been there for hours freezing. My little sister's ankles, because they were showing, were bright red. And she and my mom said at the top of the tower as they were setting this all up, like, we love Ben, we love Ben, we love Ben, we love Ben.
Her dad called my parents so that they could be there too. On FaceTime. Once I had asked, you know, then they all started screaming. The girls ran up with everyone else shortly following, even the photographer. And then we all took pictures up top, which you can insert or not.
Yes, I will. Right here. Along with footage of right after.
Oh, hey, guys. Hey. Sammy, what just happened? Ben's my new brother-in-law. They just got frozen. Oh, so cute. Holy freaking adorable. Ben, give me a little thumbs up, you know? Yes, sir! Wow. Unbefrickin-believable. I know, right? Am I right, ladies?
So hi. My montage of the mountain didn't work out.
Oh, here you go.
Because something else
Something else
may have happened. I can't even talk or get into this. We're at Aroma Joe's because where else are we gonna go after we literally get engaged? Hold on, we're gonna go order, but I'll tell the story later. And I just wanted to oh my god.
Oh, there's holiday rushes. So that is essentially the story.
Well, there's a little bit more.
Oh, please.
So we took the pictures with Caroline. You know, we all dipped out to go do our own thing. My family was very sweet to give us like a car to go home alone. Because remember, we had carpooled with like 5 people there. So we sat in Rhonda the Honda and we called his parents. We called every person we've ever met. And then Ben, what was the first thing we went to go get after we got engaged?
Aroma Joe's.
If this isn't the reason for you to sponsor me, I'll never find one. I can't get too sappy. This is already longer than it should have been. But it was the best day of my life.
Me too.
For one more shot of the gorgeous, beautiful ring. Thank you for making it the best day of my life. And
thank everyone.
If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. I hope it was exciting. It was the best thing I could have asked for. So
it was a great day.
On that note, are you happy with the decisions you've made?
Weighing it, yeah, duh. I love you.
Thank you all so much for watching. We're going to be doing a lot of wedding content. If you don't like it, sorry. I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, later.
Bye!